Good evening. It's Wednesday. The weekend's nearly here-ish, kind of. Guys, it's me, Mr. B. I'm on the Juma and Rebel in the house. We're going to be discussing the king, the boss, the one and only Sir Alex Ferguson. He's been inducted into the Hall of Fame. We get your opinions, although they're all going to be positive because you're on the Man United channel. If not, get off. And we're going to be talking about Rashford, answering his pretty way he knows how to face. Guys, this is the Man United agenda. OMONDI, how are we doing, sir?
Yeah, man, a bit tired. Had a long day, but ready to go. 8:30, I just seem to come alive. It's like automatic these days, isn't it? And yeah, I like the two topics that we did discussing today. Hope everyone else does as well, because I think it's about time. It's about time. That's all I'll say before we go into it.
Rebel, how are we, man?
There's a song called Standing in the Hall of Fame, and now it is very true for our GOAT, the greatest manager of all time, Sir Alex. Forget your Air Jordans. We need Air Fergusons.
Said he needs it. Excellent. Stumpy, we see you, man. Welcome, bruv. Now, Kane, we see you. Welcome again. Jeff, we see you, and I'll be seeing you in person on Friday, man. Guys, obviously, we were brought up in the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Obviously, what he did at the time, we probably took for granted, to be fair, and expected it to have gone on forever and ever. Obviously, now we've realised it's been a good little while since we've been involved in any sort of title race. And let's be honest, he wasn't in there for the cups. We were in there for the big ones, the Champions Leagues and the league. So he's been inducted along with Wenger. I mean, to be fair, I don't think they could have inducted one without the other. I think they both brought the best out of each other in ways that at certain times was a bit unsavory, Pizzagate and all the other bits and pieces, but he's in. So I think it's about time. How long has these the Hall of Fame been going for?
I think they had a Hall of Fame of players recently about Premiership, and Omri and was inducted, and then there was an absence of gigs, I think, as well. That's what stood out to me, because of stuff that happens outside of football. So I think the players' side of things, if I could be corrected, but it was a couple of years ago. In the last few years, there was a Players' Hall of Fame thing. So this is the first I'm hearing about a Manager's Hall of Fame. I don't know. Can you add to that, Rebel?
I'm just thinking back. I'm not sure, was it last year or the year before? It was the first year. And I remember, was it that Gerrard and Keano were in the inaugural year or something, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
And was there controversy that Lampard? There was one of the big three in a way from that era left out, and there was a bit of jibber jabber about it. But Sir Alex Ferguson, obviously, as you said, Mr. B, we were spoiled, bare, rotten when we were growing up, because it was just like trophy. And do you know what? It is fitting that Arsene Wenger is going in on the same day as Sir Alex Ferguson, because in dance, it takes two to tango. To have an epic rivalry, it takes two absolutely phenomenal managers to do so. And I don't care what any of today's generation say. Do not be coming near me with no pep clap rivalry. There is one rivalry in football. And I think even the Armory boys will agree with us in this one. Wenger v Ferguson was the number one top shelf box office hit.
Mr. B, you're nodding.
Yeah, I am. You just have memories of the feelings, man. My one is my celebration at 99 when we had a house of rival fans. You know, like your brethren come round and you're jumping up and down the shirt, waving, you're sticking your head in everybody's face. Just how that's the first thing that came back to me. But how much trophies did he actually win? Was it 38?
13 Premier League, 2 Champions League, 8 or 9 domestic cups, and then God knows how many silver dinner plates.
Oh, does it count? Charity Community Shield don't
No,
count,
we
does it?
don't count. I don't want to count community shields, but also the Super Cup he won after the Cup Winners' Cup. He beat Red Star Belgrade, and won the World Championships. Didn't he? The World. I know we lost with Romario.
World Club Cup,
Yeah, World Club.
Intercontinental Super Cup.
Yeah,
We've won European Super Cup, European Cup Winners' Cup, 4 League Cups, 5 FA Cups, 13 leagues, and 2 Champions Leagues. Bloody
but
hell.
the standouts for me are the 13 Premier Leagues. That's massive. I mean, in that small window of time, he dominated. And even when he was tested, which he was towards the end, when Mourinho came around, we got rid of Wenger. That was a tough challenge. Then Mourinho comes along, and then Pep comes along. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like Pep in Europe I'm talking about. And there's different challenges when you think to yourself, my gosh, how are you going to conquer this? But he always found a way to transition. That's why I feel he deserves to be head and shoulders as the number one. I know in boxing, the Hall of Fame is done 5 years after you retire. So this is a long time coming, I think. I think they should keep this going and keep inducting people year by year based on how many years it is since you retired. 5 years. So whoever's up next, you just need to dash them in. And by the way, regardless of what goes on, Ryan Giggs does need to be in the Players Hall of Fame for footballing reasons. That's what we're here for. Forget about other stuff, what happens outside.
And one day, actually, you mentioned the World Club Championships. Actually, it was Mr. B, and that year was actually infamous because some would argue that was the year that the FA Cup lost a lot of its silver polish because Manchester United went and played the Club World Championship and weren't allowed to field a reserve team. And some would say that was the death of the FA Cup that we knew and loved, and it was replaced with what we have now.
I think personally, definitely FA Cup for me is when Sky came in and terrestrial TV. Because before that, FA Cup was one game a year you guaranteed to watch on terrestrial TV. And that's why you had the millions, the build-up, State and Greavesy or the BBC. They're both doing it. So from 10 a.m., you'll get up, you'll listen to the build-up, you'll watch, you'll get involved in it. And you always remember these FA Cup finals. I used to memorize them off by heart. Now I can't remember who won the last FA Cup because it's just another game in a series of games that we see on Sky Sports, BT, and on Amazon and all these channels. There's just they get forgotten. So it's lost its appeal, I think, not just from that. You made a great point there, Rebel, but from TV, football being so vast on TV. I think it's lost its appeal since then. We used to be one game a year we might be able to watch, or maybe 2 games a year. And it used to be the FA Cup final and maybe a semi-final or one league match you might be able to watch. But yeah, football's just overloaded football. People just it's been filtered down, diluted.
You think there's too much football on one day?
I'm not complaining, but if you were talking about the FA Cup final being special, it used to be special. Now it's just another game. I mean, they made a mistake as well of playing the semi-finals. We go in there at the end of the month, semi-final at Wembley. I mean, for a team like in the Championship, yeah, it's money, isn't it? But a team like in the Championship, you go to Wembley, you say, "Oh, we gone to Wembley." Wembley is like a big thing. Wembley's for the final, not for the semis, in my opinion. Go to Villa Park again. Go to Old Trafford or one of these other grounds. Don't you take away the prestige of something special.
Though it gives the other fans, the ones who ain't going to be making the final, a chance to actually go to Wembley, per se. I don't know. I don't know. I've got a question for you. The Man City Liverpool rivalry. Do you think it's not as big as the Man United Arsenal rivalry, is it?
No way, Suey. Here, look, Klopp's a great manager, and he's going to go down as one of those managers for his generation. Pep, there's still a lot of questions over whether or not he's got all the toolkit of other managers of his generation because he's arrived into phenomenal teams everywhere he's went. But you cannot doubt that he brings home the silverware. But in terms of them matching it, Wenger and Ferguson went blow for blow. And Klopp's only managed 1 Premier League. Uno. Off of Pep.
Yeah, I know, but they're still the best team that they've had for 30 years. You know, it's what they do. It's what they talk about. You know, they're the mighty Liverpool. Come on, they've won. Oh, they've only won one in the 30. Oh, okay. So maybe there is levels to this shit that they just don't want to talk about. But we don't expect any Liverpool fans to be in the chat to understand what we're talking about. But it seems a bit weird. It seems a bit weird, to be fair. Great teams normally win things, not come second. But
yeah.
Also,
Fergie as well. Sorry, Fergie's a British manager. There's not many British managers that's achieved as much as him since he's retired. You're not getting these, like, it used to be Scottish players used to dominate English football, and that's gone out the window as well. So George Graham, you talk about rivalries. George Graham was a fantastic Arsenal manager. He was Scottish. He came through the ranks. Kenny Dalglish was a good manager for Liverpool when his player manager won the double. Which was the FA Cup and the league back then, which was the biggest thing they could do because they weren't in Europe. So I think what we're seeing now, we're talking about Klopp and Pep. They're not associated with the British thing. They're not from these shores. So there's a bit of spice lost from that. What you had with Fergie was the greatest at the time British manager, Scottish manager with the Scottish characteristics, coming up against a new breed. Arsene Wenger, who I think was a bit fortunate because he knew the talent pool in France. He came and said, if I go to Arsenal with a bit of dough, I can pick out Anelka, Vieira, all these players and look like a genius because I know how special they are and got them in cheap. And then he got Omri as well once he sold Anelka for good money. And he was able, and Perez. And so he had a sort of a talent pool to bring in. And once that faded out, he wasn't able to achieve that success. So he had a small window of success. I'm not disrespecting him. He brought a brand of football to the UK and some sort of professionalism as well. And at the time, he was a heavyweight, should be fair, because of the players that he brought in that he knew was aware of. After that, he couldn't keep up, couldn't maintain, and he didn't win the Champions League, unfortunately, but he did get to the final. So from 97 or 96 when he arrived up until 2005, that was his window of Vieira, Petit, bringing these players who we were like, wow. Obviously, he brought in Overmars and all these other great players into the league. But did he really excel in Europe? No. Fergie did. Fergie done all these things, and Fergie had the aggression, and he had to adapt, and he had to learn in Europe and come back. We were the first club to come out of the European ban and win a European trophy in 1991 against the great Barcelona team. There's so many accolades. You can sit here and talk about Fergie all day, but Hall of Fame, that is well deserved, and hopefully we can fans who don't know or weren't around at that time can really get to appreciate what a great manager he was.
Learn some history lessons.
One final point on the great rivalry. Can I just extend that arm of friendship one more time to our friends in the Army TV? They had their invincible season. We had our treble. Nobody, and I mean zilch, nada, nothing, has ever matched those two teams' achievements in the Premier League since then. So Liverpool fans, City fans, Chelsea fans, shush.
I mean, talking of shushing, I mean, it's been an interesting day when you have one of your more prominent players, should I say, answering a tweet on Instagram. Now, obviously, there's rumors going around about Rashford's contract, blah blah blah, this and that. But a post came up from United Plug. Marcus is hoping to land a new contract with Manchester United worth more than £500,000 a week. Marcus, in his own style, has replied, fair play to him. Just before this one starts to do the rounds, it's complete nonsense. The club and must be myself have been respectful to one another, and that's how it will remain. My focus is purely on finishing as well as possible in the league and winning trophies. Now, the fact that he's answered is more why I'm happy. He's just put that one to bed straight away. Nobody can say his account's been hacked. Nobody can talk about any nonsense. I just like the fact that he's come out there, bam, put it down. And guess what? We now know that he's not after 500 grand a week. Although I thought it was £400,000 a week. So hopefully, this one gets sorted out sooner rather than later. But he's gonna stay. I don't see there's any issues with it. Thoughts, gents?
Yeah, for me, this is an interesting one because we've been hearing all sorts of rumors about contract offers and wage caps and all this other nonsense. Because at the end of the day, we're currently still in the process of a takeover, so we don't know who is going to be setting the rules come the summer. David De Gea apparently had rejected £300,000 to stay at Manchester United. He's currently the highest paid keeper in Premier League. So, looking at Marcus Rashford, he's kind of going, I do not want this political shitstorm flying around with every dog and its mother tabloid saying, look, I'm a greedy bastard. I want 500k. He's like, no, I ain't going there. I am focused on my team finishing as high as we can in Premier League, possibly winning another bit of trophy, either the FA Cup or the Europa League, or maybe even both. And we're not going to have this nonsense dragging on in the tabloids until the end of the season. So he's shushed them down. He said, no, lads, we're not playing this game. And I think what we might actually start seeing is a culture of players going, no, don't be taking my name and associating me with rubbish. I don't want it.
I do think when he goes like that, he should also be going to school and learning some grammar. Because in the second, he said, the club and make self have been respectful. What he should be saying is, myself and the club have been respectful to one another. So there you go, Marcus. Just a lesson for you. You can teach me all about football because you're superior to me. But come on, sort your grammar out. But it also shows that he was rushed. He's like, what the hell's this? Let me just type in and just dash it out there and send it before I even assess what I've actually written here. But we know what the feeling is. I agree with what Rebel's saying there. He had to cut that because he knows how fans react. We're the biggest club. Look how many channels there are, like the Man United Agenda, like Stretford Paddock. They're all talking, all looking for stories. And something like this could go with fans actually saying, look at him. He's just there for the money, that kind of thing. Because yesterday, we were talking about he turned down £400,000 from PSG, for example. This is a lot of money we're talking about. And we, like I said yesterday, the money that we're talking about is just, we can't even comprehend. £400,000, £500,000 a week. That's a lot of money. I remember when Roy Keane was getting £6,000 a week, and that was like, wow, back in the day in 93, 94. That was like outrageous, for the time. Or maybe it's £3,000, I think we're talking. But it's still, so it shows you how fast it's come. He's showing here, he's making a statement to say, I'm a club man. Don't worry about this, fans. Let's focus on the football. Let's focus on delivering, which he is. We've already won a trophy, as you say in there, and get as high as we can in the league. I love that attitude. That's what we want to hear. And it slaps up any. I don't want to disrespect the source there. We can't. Maybe they've heard something. They put it out there. That's up to them. But it's been slapped in the face by the horse's mouth. The very own Marcus Rashford. Mr. B, what do you think about this? Do you feel like this is a big statement from Marcus here?
B, Marcus can do no wrong. I'll be honest. I'll hold up my hands. There's not much he could do that's going to make me to make him piss me off. And I'm like Emma, that the fact that these players have got platforms to poo-poo the nonsense quite quickly and quite effectively. So Marcus coming out and doing, all these other rumors that come out, it would be nice. It really would be nice if the rest of them took his lead and shut things down when we all know that it's nonsense. But fair play to him, fair play to him. I don't have no issues with him. I think he's fantastic, and he's gone up even more in my estimation now with that, to be fair.
Very true.
Oh, we swapped. Oh, you stay up there, Rebel.
I think from this, I'm going to order a mug with Mark. I've got Harry Maguire on my mug already. But after today, that statement, I'm going to get Marcus Rashford as well. He's going to be added to my cabinet, my cabinet, where I keep all my mugs and sauces and all that kind of thing. And by the way, if you want mugs, guys, as you've seen there, modelled there by our very own Rebel, you can hit the merch store. There's the address there. Hit us up and get us your beautiful mugs. And if you do get one, guys, do us a favor. Take a picture, put it on Twitter to say with your face and the mug and a little modelling like Rebel showing you there, and let us know when you got your mug in. I'm going to be modelling mine tomorrow. I keep forgetting to bring it on, but there you go with the Man United Agenda logo. And you turn it around, and your favourite player is Rebels Martinez the Butcher. So yeah, it's all there, guys. Check out the merch store,
guys. We were in, we were out. We shook it all about. guys, this is the Man United agenda. We will be back tomorrow. We will be back Friday for a double show, more than likely, and we're definitely going to be back here on Sunday. Guys, please be safe. I say every time you're on here, I know you don't have to be in, and we really do appreciate the fact that you are. Before you go, please hit that like, hit that share button. Guys, we will see you all tomorrow. Cheers. We're out.
Bye-bye.